Today I'm going to show you how to debug a SeisSpace socket tool. In this particular flow, I have a socket tool called IPC Ensemble, just my own little tool. It's got a couple of menus in there. So let's go take a look at how that tool is started, how SeisSpace is started. One thing that we want to make sure of is that SeisSpace knows where our personal development environment is. That way it can find all the executables, menus, etc. So if we go out that directory and take a look, we can see what type of files we got out there. We got the ensemble code and the menu code. And one of the things that's important for the menu is that there's some debug statements put into there. And this is all documented in the online Promax Developers Manual. But you can see we got this thing called debug in there. And if it's true, it'll set a value equal to 2. If not, it'll set a value equal to 0. So the goal is to show you what happens when the value gets set to 2. So basically, in the SeisSpace menu, we can toggle on debug mode yes or no. This will pass as 0, and this will pass at 2. So some of the tools we need are GDB. So we do an RPM minus QA pipe grep GDB. We make sure we have that loaded. And the other thing is we're going to use the DDD, the graphical GDB, and we got that one loaded, so that's good. So let's go ahead and make our socket tool. Make it in debug mode. That we could debug it a little better. Okay, it looks like it's all there. So now what we do is go back to our flow and we turn on debugging. Yes. But one thing we need to do is we need an environment in order to run DDD, or the actual socket tool itself. And it has to have all the environment variables set that the socket tool is expecting. So what I usually do is kick off a next term from SeisSpace. And if we look at all the environment variables, we can so we kick off an X term from SeisSpace and then go out and look at the environment variables. So if we kick up an X term from the actual flow we're using and go into that X term and look at the environment variables for Promax, we can see they're all there. And is the data home the one that we're using? So we're using data home export D02 data, so it's not set right. So let's go ahead and set it to what we expect, or what our flow is built into. Okay, so let's go start the flow. We bring over the job viewer so we can see it in the same window as where we're at. Okay, it likes to go the other way. So we go to the log file and take a look, and it gives us instructions on what to do at the bottom. And it's talking about connecting up. So in this window here where we started this, I can say, okay, let's do a DDD. And I'm going to give it the path to the executable, which is what we're kind of seeing in the log file. It says ICP ensemble. I'm going to give them the path to it. So we'll kick up DDD, and here it is. So we might want to set some type of breakpoints in here or stop. So let's say, put a breakpoint in right there. We say break. And now we got to run it. So now we actually get this, the run. And you can set breakpoints wherever you want. But I usually get one started in there. And then you give it this temp file path. And what this is this particular file is a packet file. It contains all the parameters that the socket tool needs to know. So if we just run it, then you notice we're stopped here at that breakpoint. So I can move down a little farther into here someplace, and let's say I'll set another breakpoint there, okay? And then I just say continue. So continue to run until it gets to the breakpoint. And then I can take a look at variables that are out there. Let's see, here's traces. There's pointers in there. There's parameters, what they actually are. It's coming in as 0, the iterations is coming in 1, etc. And this is how you can debug the socket tool. You can just say continue to let it go all the way through. And then it'll finish up and you're done.